Human capital obviously is not quarantined. I think the world has changed a lot during COVID. I think it's been probably the greatest change since the World War, I would say, in terms of it's truly affected everyone on the planet. There's no one that is immune, whether you are rich, poor, tall, short, fat, young, old. It's just infected everyone in different ways. And I think people have been more, I guess, successful in terms of adapting and being as agile as possible. So I think currently we're in Dubai now. Dubai is probably the most open city right now in terms of people can freely go there and bounce. And I think the different ways I would look at it is there is a difference in terms of the way people travel, the way people do business. We've seen a lot of tech, for example, like Zoom has been adapted and incorporated into daily life. And it's probably very, very much part of the DNA of companies now. And also it's changed a lot of dynamics of tech companies like Twitter, Google, where employees no longer have to attend the office anymore. And I think even with vaccines, when things make life a lot more normalized, I think the world has changed indefinitely, whereby people no longer have to be in the center of Manhattan or the city of London. People can work from home, maybe just go into the office once a week, and maybe the offices will be migrating. For example, in America, a lot of the Wall Street firms, they've all moved to Florida because of the weather, it's cheaper, and lower tax rates. So, however, having said that, I think in any business, in anything in life for that matter, the most important thing is the human connection, the human capital. And that's something that cannot be replaced. I think things like AI, which is very exciting, is something that will help make life and business more efficient. But I don't think you can ever replace the human and the social interaction. So I think there's a lot of deals where they can get done by Zoom technology, by video conferencing and all that. However, I don't think you can cultivate relationships without being face-to-face. And that's why Dubai has been so successful in the last 6 to 12 months after the lockdown, that a lot of people here were having face-to-face interactions. And I think a lot of business has been done. So some things will change and some things will be here to stay. But I believe that humans to humans has to stay, and that's the only way we can prosper. So Tsangs Group is a fourth generation single family office. We're headquartered in in Hong Kong, but we have offices in London, in Beijing and Shenzhen. And I'm recently been in Dubai for the last 3 months with a view of just being here for 2 weeks. I've been overstaying a little bit. I just got the visa very generously, and we're going to set up an office in Dubai. We will set up the asset management arm in Abu Dhabi. And then we're also setting up a new rep office in San Francisco. So actually COVID has been very kind to us. I think the most important thing is that the only constant, as we always say, is change. And the most important thing as a family office, or any company for that matter, the most important thing is being able to identify what's happening around you and to adapt to the surroundings and to evolve. So we started off as farmers in Hong Kong. My grandfather was the pioneer who moved to the UK in 1956. Then we started opening up Chinese restaurants in the UK, and slowly we evolved into investing into real estate. And in the last 10 to 12 years, we've been investing a lot more into technology. So technology is one of the most important industries in our mind. Innovation in technology has changed the world for the better. I believe that entrepreneurs are the people that change the world, not people like me. I'm just the financier. We just help push and find these entrepreneurs and help them find the right path to change the world. Companies like Google, Tesla, Alibaba, all the big companies, we're just here to ride on the train and go forward. We are sector and location agnostic. So our tagline is think global, be local. What do we mean by that? Is that it truly is a global place right now because of technology. We invest all across the globe, so we're very sector and location agnostic. But in order to be very successful is that you have to have local knowledge and local partners on the ground to help you exploit the local region. No matter how big, great, powerful you are, like Google in China, Alibaba in the US, it just doesn't really work, even though they're so big elsewhere. So you really need to have the right local partner. It took Coca-Cola 19 years in China before they start making a profit. It just shows you that no matter how big you are somewhere else, you need to be quite humble to understand that the local market is very different from where you may have come from or what you've been doing. What do we do? Right now, we invest a lot into early stage ventures, kind of like a rough diamond. We act like a activist investor where we help to invest into the company, to back the right entrepreneur, the right team, to make sure that the business model is right, they're in the right markets. We help them to bring them into China if it's a non-Chinese company. And if it's a Chinese company, we help them to expand overseas to the Western market. So Tsang's Group, we help bridge China to the rest of the world. Add on that, what we do is then we add value by taking the companies public, by IPO, or we try to do some kind of merger acquisition. And a recent example is Fubo TV. So 2 years ago, we invested in a company which did digital animation, which was at a valuation of $30 million. So in October 2020, we managed to help Fubo list on the New York Stock Exchange for around $2 billion. In December of 2020, during COVID, the valuation went up to $9 billion. So on paper, we made a 250 to 300x return, which was a big win for us. So it just shows you that even in COVID, a very difficult time, it also creates a lot of opportunity for investors. So things like technology has been very good. Things like obviously real estate, retail have suffered. So I think you've got, as I said before, you have to be very nimble, very agile, and just adapt and make the best of the circumstance. Our goals for the next 6 to 12 months are, we're very active in the US market right now. So we're setting up a few SPACs, mainly in TMT. Like I said before, we're setting up 3 new offices. One, the family office in Dubai, the asset management arm in Abu Dhabi, and then the rep office in San Francisco. The sectors that I'm particularly excited about is space technology, obviously fintech and digital finance. We're very interested into like Bitcoin mining, because obviously there's a lot of big talk, and it's becoming a lot more mainstream, and also a lot more like green financing and clean tech.